Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Rob's Little Blue Book. And tonight is going to be slightly different, not a whole lot different. The cool thing we're going to go a little more in depth into, we're going to be talking about the Chef's Plate tonight, which is a food delivery service that was brought to my attention by my friend Nick. And they ship like a whole kit and a recipe and everything else. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Rather than have like an uninformed, biased opinion, I decided to do a little research and reading, and so I have now a biased, informed opinion. And we're going to go through that, but there's some really great things about it. There's some things about it that didn't think were so great, but nothing's perfect. But we are also going to be doing the Oklahoma burger tonight. I'm going to pop over here, show you guys this, and we did the Oklahoma burger. And this was a request from Nick. We did the Oklahoma burger way back in the Twitch days. It's long gone, so I kind of wanted to redo it for YouTube, and I also wanted to redo it because of this thing. This is my Blackstone flat top grill, and I've used this now a few times. And by the way, don't get one of these for your apartment or house. It is definitely 100% an outdoor appliance, so don't. But the last few times I've used this we do outdoor parties and we've done birthdays and stuff like that. I think one of the birthdays was actually Nick's. I've done burgers on this thing, and yes. And originally, I think it was Serena's 30th birthday. I made burgers on this thing that were the best burgers I have ever made. And I didn't do anything special. It was just good quality ground beef, simple ingredients. In that particular time I used like my little special sauce, which is it's pretty basic secret sauce recipe. And it's interesting because Serena's grandfather was there, and he struggles a little bit now with forgetting things every once in a while. But first of all, he ate like 4 or 5 of the burgers, and they weren't that big, but he ate a lot of the burgers, and he loved them. And he still talks about them like to this day. So it's interesting that the food can form like a really powerful memory. But I loaned this to my brother, and I gave it back to him. He wanted to try it as well, and we just couldn't figure out why the burgers. And then he couldn't get it. He couldn't get the same quality burger out of it, and he was a little bit frustrated because he couldn't figure out what I had done. And I honestly didn't know. I didn't really do anything all that different. So I think part of it is letting the grill heat up. So I'm going to actually, what are you talking about here? Yes. I know, but I know what I know what I'm doing with this one. Also, you're not supposed to have a 20-pound propane tank inside, which I also have down here. Anyway, I'll take it out later tonight. But one of the things is preheating the flat top seems to be really important, so I'm going to do that now, hopefully. This thing is sometimes reluctant to start. Oh, not tight though. Yay. Okay, so I'm just going to let that run while we talk about all the other stuff we want to talk about tonight. And we'll go through the ingredients and the Oklahoma burger when we get there. But I did want to talk about Chef's Plate. And this, I said, was brought to my attention by Nick. And I've known about these services before. They ship you, I'm assuming, like the ingredients and actually kind of a nice little recipe page here. And so I went through, Nick gave me a whole stack to kind of review. And I thought we'd just go through some of them. And I wanted to offer my comments because I really think it's important that people cook. So the one thing, first of all, that I love about this is you have to, it is fine temporarily, Serena, to use a propane tank inside. Anything that gets people cooking is great. Okay, even honestly, cooking for the people that are important to you is a wonderful thing, and it doesn't matter if you're just tearing off the top of a box of Kraft Dinner and making it for somebody else. That is fantastic. But anything that makes it easier, that encourages people to cook, I think is great. So I'm just going to go through. I made some notes on these ones. The top one I really like. It's a souvlaki style pork chop, and one thing I love about this is, first of all, I love souvlaki, and souvlaki is something that is so easy to make on a moment's notice. There's no marinade. You simply whip up olive oil, oregano, your souvlaki, herbs, toss whatever it is. It could be pork cubes, pork chops in this case. It could be cubed chicken, and you throw it on the grill and you're done. It's fantastic. So the one thing I noticed about this, and this is not necessarily a good or a bad thing, all of the recipes rely on spice blends, dried spice blends. And that's good in the sense that dried spices don't keep forever. So if they're sending you like a pre-measured spice pack that you're just going to use all of it, not have it sitting around your kitchen, that's not a bad thing. However, there are certain staples that you can have, and we're going to talk about it because they introduce the staples as they go through the different recipes. Salt and pepper don't ever spoil, especially if you're using like peppercorns. Like, don't crack your pepper until you need it. But yeah, so Nick, we're going to talk a little bit about the spice blend thing, because I noticed in this recipe they make it's ersatz tzatziki, which is a lot of Z's in 2 words. But tzatziki is really easy to make. And I'm almost positive, like the Mediterranean spice blend, or sort of the blend for the dill garlic spice blend. Like when you make tzatziki, you can just chop fresh dill and garlic, and I like a little bit into your Greek yogurt. And it's good to go. But this is a great start. It would be helpful to know what the spices are in advance, but I mean, you can kind of figure them out. You know, a little Googling will tell you what a Mediterranean spice blend is. But overall, I really like the souvlaki technique. It's fantastic for weeknights because you can just, whip it up, toss it in the oil, throw it on the grill. So that was that one. What am I going to do with these? Let's put them over here. I picked this one because Serena really likes cauliflower. This is firecracker cauliflower with roasted peppers and jasmine rice. But I really liked this one because it introduced 2 other staples that you should always have in your kitchen: soy sauce, obviously, and vinegar. In this particular one, it's rice vinegar, but you should always have, like, vinegar is a staple seasoning. It's just as important as salt and pepper, and you should always have, I always have a little squeeze bottle by the grill or by the stove that has, like I got rice vinegar here, I got a bunch of vinegars behind me. It's really great for taming sweetness. If you make a dish accidentally too sweet or something, a little vinegar will solve your problem. And the other thing in this one is sweet chili sauce, which is another staple in Asian cooking. So the thing I liked about this recipe is, and it also teaches you how to roast vegetables, and roasting vegetables, is a really important thing to know how to do. So this one was kind of a winner in the sense that I like the techniques it introduced, and it also introduced, the thing is they don't tell you the staples there. It's just listed as an ingredient. Like, I look at this and I know, like, soy sauce and vinegar are 2 things that you should always have on hand, whereas I don't know if they ship it in a little packet or vinegar. Like, I don't know how it comes, but you might not recognize it as like an important part of your basic kitchen. Anyway, that's that one. I loved this one. Well, I loved and hated this one. So this is a banh mi inspired pork burger. The thing I loved about this recipe is it introduces you to a quick pickle, the technique, and it doesn't really spell it out. It just says pickle cucumbers. You can do this with shredded carrots, cucumbers, and they actually should have used carrots, but they don't. But anyway, it doesn't matter. A quick pickle is just a fantastic thing to know how to do for this cuisine and any other cuisine. Beyond that, this is banh mi inspired in the same way that Hyundai is inspired by Ferrari. The rest of the recipe isn't particularly compelling. It kind of relies on a spice blend, and hoisin sauce is another thing you want to have in your kitchen all the time. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments. I can see the comments kind of sometimes. I have to read them when they come up. So the sandwich didn't thrill me a whole lot, but I really love the idea of learning how to do a quick pickle. Right. I mean, Nick, honestly, they should expect you to have vinegar. Like, that's pretty basic. Okay. This one I only picked because, so this is a messy barbecue sausage sub. And this is a sandwich, guys. This isn't even a recipe. It's just a bunch of things on a bun. There's nothing wrong with a sandwich, but having it as like a prep meal recipe thing, not too sure. But I did like it because it talks about uncasing sausage, which is something that a lot of people don't know they can do. They don't know you can buy sausage and take it out of the casing and use it for other stuff. So I liked it for that. And this might even be a good sandwich. I'm not thrilled with their language, like their adjectives. Like everything's messy, sweet, umami. There's a dirty recipe and a firecracker cauliflower, and it's a little clickbaity, but I guess it's not bad. Okay, so now we get into some things that, again, these recipes all have things that I like and I don't like. This is sweet soy chicken and crunchy slaw, and I love this one because it teaches you how to make slaw. And slaw of all different kinds is just a fantastic thing to know how to make. It's great in sandwiches, it's great as a side, it's infinitely adaptable. You can use cabbage and red cabbage and green cabbage and shredded carrots and julienne, whatever you want, and make a slaw. So that's really, really great. But this is just soy chicken tendies. Like, there's not a lot else to this dish. So, let's talk about toasting sesame seeds. That's kind of cool. But yeah, and I noticed a theme sort of as we get through these. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Paul, I just bring you up to speed real quick. We're talking about Chef's Plate, which is a food delivery service. They send you like a meal kit and you assemble it yourself. This one, street corn style linguine. I don't know if you can see my ew here. This is gross. Everything about this is kind of off-putting. It's a weird fusion pasta Mexican thing with linguine, and everything about it is just wrong. But the main issue I took with this is that, aside from the fact that it's visually repulsive as well, there are so many fantastic Italian pastas that have been around since the beginning of time for centuries that are amazing and way easier to make than this. So this one was kind of a miss, in my opinion. More than a miss. It's gross. They can't all be winners, right? You're not gonna win everything. This was another linguine I picked up, and same problem, because there's a couple of things here. This one introduces a technique which I hate. This is a linguine in a blush sauce. So every time I see blush or rosé sauce or semi-cream sauce on a pasta, I just want to throw up. Now, the reason they do that, and the reason Chef Plate does add milk or cream, you see carbonaras, even in restaurants you see carbonaras with cream in them. It's weird. But they do that because it makes the dish creamier and easier to make. But it's much better, and I also like this one for the quick tomato sauce, because that's a really handy thing to. Yes, Spencer, this is a propane. Oh, hang on, it's a propane griddle, and thank you for reminding me. It went off for some reason. There we go. Yes, it is a propane griddle. We talked about this in the beginning. If you didn't hear it, this is 100% outside appliance. Do not use this inside. Yes, the windows are open, and I've got a fan on, and everything's good. It does make amazing burgers, which is why I'm using it tonight inside. This normally lives outside. Back to this recipe. Don't add cream to your pasta. Like, learn, and we've done this a million times on stream, go back to any pasta recipe, learn how to thicken a pasta sauce properly with pasta water, the starchy pasta water. It's really easy. You won't ever have to rely on cream in your recipes. It's better for you. It tastes better. Everything's better. So this recipe was almost good until the cream part. However, they almost redeemed themselves in the very next recipe. I don't know if it was next in linear time ways, but it was next in the pile. This is creamy Dijon pork chops. And learning how to make a Dijon cream sauce is actually really fantastic. Like this even looks good, and they don't all look good, but this one looks good. And I love a Dijon cream sauce, and I use it in all kinds of things. It's great. It's great on steak. It's great on pork. You can do deviled pork chops, which is really great with this. So this is where proper use of cream. Great. Buffalo Chicken Ranch. Okay, I took huge issue with this one. This is just more tendies. And the other thing too is this buffalo chicken, like if you want buffalo chicken, make the original buffalo chicken wings. There's a reason that recipe is iconic. It doesn't need to be messed with. It's way easier than this. It certainly tastes better. It certainly looks better. This is just unnecessary. And I know buffalo chicken was like all the rage. It was buffalo chicken everything for a while. Buffalo chicken's like the sun-dried tomatoes of the 2020s. But no, just no, like, don't. Now, I do think that you should have Frank's Red Hot in your kitchen all the time. I have it. I use it pretty much specifically just for wings, but it's another staple to have in your kitchen. And they do roast the carrots and stuff like that, so that's good. And they do a panko topping, which is not done right, but at least they mention it. I don't know. Wasn't thrilled with this one. There were some hits and misses here. And I had hope when I saw this one. This is the umami burger. This was another, this was a chef created recipe that went TikTok viral, and the original umami burger, if you track it down, which involves a lot of mushrooms and other umami things. The only umami thing in this is soy sauce. Yeah. So this is just a salty burger. I mean, it just doesn't have anything going for it. Sorry, guys. This one was like, it did, and it's sriracha mayo. I mean, that's kind of fun, right? Two things you'd always have in your kitchen. But yeah. So, but overall, some of the recipes were really great. So they're all going to be like edible. I'm sure they put some work into, and Nick, this is just my incredibly biased opinion too. Don't get me wrong. Like, make whatever food you like. If it tastes good to you, then you should be eating it. Like, there's just no question. And I love the fact that you learn how to cook. The only thing that I kind of see as a disadvantage of the whole program is you don't shop. And learning how to shop, well, first of all, I love shopping for food. I love shopping for my ingredients. I think that's part of cooking, and I think that the more you get into cooking, the more you will enjoy shopping for the things that you're making. But it's also kind of like a skill feeling you develop. But I got to tell you, it's really empowering to be able to go to St. Lawrence Market or the supermarket or wherever you go, and I mean, saves you money. You can look at what's on sale and go, okay, well, pork shoulders on sale, and I know like 5 different things I can do with that, or ground beef's on sale, you know, whatever it is, and you can just have a repertoire of recipes and techniques and put together your stuff on the fly. So, okay, I think that's enough ranting. Did I say everything I wanted to say about that? I kind of do. So overall, I'm in favor of the Chef's Plate as a service. I think it's a great idea. I think it should be a stepping stone to, I wouldn't want to make them every night. But I would encourage people to, if you're going to use the service, once a week cook for, use one of the recipes as a starting point. Because, I mean, the problem with the Chef's Choice stack that I went through is it basically boiled down to food court food. It was burgers, tendies, and bowls. I'm not even counting the pasta dishes as dishes because they're not. And that's great for a while. And I mean, I like food court food too. Like, Thai Express, and I love it. But you need to move on. You need to branch out. So I think that's all I'm going to say. And yeah, you know what? $10 per meal, or is it that per portion? If that's $10 per portion, it's pretty hard to beat that. And it's delivered to your door, and there's all kinds of other great things going for it. So you can do better than $10 a portion, but $10 a portion isn't bad. And then the other thing is, Chef's Plate allows you to control your waste. You only get enough for the meal. There's no leftovers. If I'm going to do dish with chicken breast. I'm going to go buy a whole chicken. I'm going to take it apart myself because that saves me money and it gives me the chicken carcass and I know what I'm going to do with the rest of the chicken. I'll have a plan for it. But if you don't know what you're going to do with the rest of the chicken, there's no point. Like, it might sit in your fridge and just eventually it's going to go bad and you're going to feel bad throwing it out. So that's kind of it. So I'm going to hold, I do want this grill to heat up a little bit. We're going to jump right into Oklahoma burgers now. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Otherwise, we're going to keep moving. Talk a little bit about the... Right, and I guess there's a selection bias in Nick's stack. It's not... actually, Nick, to be honest, I just assumed they sent you something every day and you didn't get to choose. So if that's the case, then maybe I take back what I said about everything being food court. Nick, you should stay out of food courts then. Okay, let's talk about Oklahoma burger. This is an incredibly simple burger, and this is probably the best burger you can make. I think this is my favorite burger. It's very simple. We have, there's just 5 ingredients. We've got salt, cheese slice, we've got a bun, we've got onion, and our ground beef. So we're going to talk about the onion first. You can use, now I've seen Oklahoma burgers use, excuse me, so I guess I have a little bit of COVID thing still hanging on. Apologize for that. I've seen this recipe use Vidalias, which I have tried and I did not care for. They were just a little bit too sweet for me. Now, Oklahoma burger, of course, is American in origin, and we know how much Americans love their sweets. To be honest, I'm surprised sugar isn't one of the ingredients. But Vidalias were just too sweet for me. And I love Vidalia onions in the right place, but I'm using a white onion here, but a yellow onion would be fine. And if you like sweet and you like Vidalia onions, by all means. The important thing about the onions, though, is not the type as much as it is the thickness. You want these paper thin, as thin as you can possibly get them. You want to be able to see through them, and that can be quite a challenge to do. Now, I originally did them on my mandolin. Always use the handguard. But I found that even my mandolin on the thinnest setting were too thick. So I'm gonna cut these by hand. Give me a chance to practice my knife skills and see if I can get them thinner than the mandolin. Because you want these you almost want them to disintegrate into a sauce, when you put them on the grill. Yeah, okay. And this is really thin. You want, you can see my hand right through these. This is what you want for your onion slices, like that thin. If you and I wish I still had one. If you have a Ben Reiner, which is the whatchamacallit, the Japanese mandolin, the kind of the original one, it has an infinitely adjustable thickness, so you can actually set it for mega thin, which is really handy. Mine, unfortunately, only has 2 settings, thick and thin, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, this is much better. So you can see and you want a lot. You want a lot of onion. This is going to top this pile. This is going on one patty. We're going to cut up the onion. You want a lot. And of course, the Oklahoma burger came about because people were trying, it came around just after the war, and people were trying to stretch their beef. It was expensive. I mean, it's still expensive. So this was a way to both punch up the flavor and then extend the yield of their, where's my mouse here? Burger. Any questions on onions? Or why I'm cutting them up? And again, you want these razor thin? Cut with a razor? I don't know. Really, really thin. And this is also a good chance to practice your knife skills. See how thin you can get onions. But as I said, you kind of want to just, like that. So so you can see right through them. like the Sfoli, the pasture sheet. You want to be able to see the cathedral through your onions. Okay, we're going to start putting this together. And guys, this is not going to be a terribly long stream tonight. But it's worthwhile because this is such a great thing to eat. And let's talk about buns. I don't like... Alright, we're out of rags tonight. That's weird. Buns. So these are brioche buns, which I quite like. I really also like potato buns if you can find them. So Martin's, of course, which you can get in some grocery stores in Toronto. And the Martin's potato bun is fantastic. The brioche buns are fine too. It's a close second. I couldn't get potato buns. I didn't feel like making them. So there you go. That's what we're doing tonight. I'm kind of just seeing like how hot the grill is. Okay, it's getting pretty hot. I think we're just gonna go with it. I think we're just gonna go with this. So you want, here's our burger meat. We're gonna make up two, I'm just doing singles here. You can do doubles if you're really hungry. Over the last couple of years, I've kind of gotten, unless my son's over, I've kind of gotten away from doubles. It's too much, too heavy. I find it slightly imbalanced in terms of like meat to bun to filling ratios and all that. You want to use medium ground beef for this, of course. I'm sure there is a use for lean ground beef, but I don't really know what it is. Now, these patties you want about, oh, you can make them whatever size you want. I like mine around 4 ounces. So I do 4 ounces for a single. Let's see how close we are tonight. Oh, that's 3.98, so that's pretty close to 4 ounces. And this guy is 3.85, so pretty close to 4 ounces. If I was doing doubles, these would be 3 ounces. What ratio? Well, sorry, ratio of fat to meat, like in the ground beef. This is 70-30, which is about right. I think, and there's. I looked up the grades in Canada too, because in the States medium is 70-30, but I think in Canada it's like 75-25. But this looks about right, so I'm gonna go with it. A lean ground beef is like 90-10, I think. And it's just, there's just not enough fat. There's no flavor in it, right? Okay. And I'm going to do these, I'm going to do these one at a time. No, let's do them. Actually, I am going to do them one at a time. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys twice. I'm going to do it twice so I can talk about it. Okay, and we'll make Serena one, and then I'll make one for a taste test. So this just goes on like that. You want a little salt. And then you want like a heaping, the other nice thing about this is, you want a heaping thing of onions on there. And what this also allows you to do is squash the patty without the patty sticking to the back of the spatula. And you want to go right down on this. And you kind of like squish it out the sides so that it just, you get the nice crispy edges. Don't go, if you just go straight down on it and smash it flat, you won't get the edges. So kind of like go down the side, squish it out one side, squish it out the other. I'll show you when we do it next time. Then I already wish this grill was hotter. However, we're just going to go with it. Rebecca, did I answer your question? Was that, were you talking about the ratio of the meat or the ratio of the burger to the bun? I'm going to give that 2 minutes. And of course, these are just Kraft singles, and I prefer Kraft singles for a couple of reasons. I think they melt really well. I've tried the other brands, but the main reason I like Kraft singles a lot is they're the easiest to open. I don't know whether they patented this, but trying to open other cheese slices is just a nightmare. And that's probably a really silly little thing, but it just drives me nuts. I think that anytime they design packaging, they should have like the C-suite sit down and open like 100 packages before they release it to the market. Yeah, I like cut slices, and I have experimented with the Kraft Deluxe ones, which they say uses a better quality cheese, although that's debatable. They're thicker, and they're not packaged. You can just peel them off a stack. They're okay, but it's almost too much cheese. Like they're substantially thicker. I like the onions caramelizing on the grill. I'm just gonna flip that guy in a second. And this is really simple. And the other interesting thing is too, I put salt on these burgers because that's part of the Oklahoma burger. But when I made the burgers for all those birthdays that everybody, and they were good. I wish I could figure out why. I didn't salt the meat even. It was just straight ground beef on a bun. All right, I'm gonna peek under this guy. Not quite, but it's looking good. So, and then you'll see, we're gonna flip this onto the onion side and get the cheese on top, and I'll show you a little trick with the bun, which makes it nice. Normally for a basic burger like this, I will toast the buns directly on the flat top. I think Nick has it. There's something about, and I've said this ever since the very beginning, there's something about cooking food for the people you care about that just makes everything taste better. Okay, so under this guy, there's the flip. We're going to do two things here. You guys can see, right? Get it over here. So one thing you kind of want to do is just go around and like, just see if you can tuck the onions underneath a little bit. You do want them to caramelize, but you don't want them to burn, right? So I find that I just go around the patty and tuck the onions underneath. I meant to do that. All right. Got your cheese on top. Give this guy a rinse now. War. Can I move my window over? Oh yeah, I think so. I can like to pop it over there maybe. I got small again, but how's that? Is that better? Okay, and then the other thing we want to do real quick is that you put the top of the bun on, and then you take the butt of the bun and you place it on top like that. And so we don't need to toast this guy. We don't need to steam it. By the time this is done, all of that wonderful burger, yeah, I know if I move the window, it loses my settings for the size of the window. I haven't figured that out yet. Yeah, I can pop it around. Like I can go everywhere. Look. Woo. Okay, I'm getting dizzy. But what this is going to let us do is the bun's going to steam, absorb like onion vapors and burger vapors and everything else. I'm going to go a full 2 minutes on this and then feed Serena. Yeah, the grill is huge. It goes like way over here, but I only have so much counter space. Another trick, when you're doing smash burgers, by the way, and you're not doing a huge onion topping like we are here, if you don't, because it's annoying when the spatula sticks to the meat and lifts the whole patty up, you put your ball on the grill for about 30 seconds and let this spot cook. Then you flip it and press down on the cooked part and it won't stick. This looks really good. Our bun's getting nice and warm. Got a minute to go. I feel our grill temperature is good. Almost ready. And then we're going to do it again, and then we're going to eat. Any questions so far? This is a pretty basic technique. but it's a good burger, and it's really simple to do. You can do, of course, you pretty much always have these ingredients in your house all the time. Almost there, not quite yet. The other reason to use medium ground beef, aside from the fact that it just tastes better, so why wouldn't you, is that it smashes easier. That's the other thing too, though. When you're forming your, when you're taking your ground mince and you're forming your balls, don't squish it. Don't make a dense little meatball. That will annoy you down the road. All right. See if I can get this onto the bun without burning myself. Ah, it's hot. Okay, so one down. Just show you guys the first one. I'm going to tip it up a little bit. You can see like melted cheese inside and everything. I'm going to deliver this to Serena because I know she's starving, and then we'll make another one. Be right back. Okay, I have returned. Let's get another one going because I'm hungry too. Any questions? Okay, so here we go. Got our ball on, a little salt. And now watch, when we smash this down, we're going like, see how I squish out the sides? Just kind of go, give it a good smear around. Off a little bit, get back in there. Perfect. And then a good chunk of onions on top. You really can't have too many onions on, well, I guess theoretically you could, but yeah, you really, and you want them to like go out the sides, right? You want them all over so you get the crispy bits on the edges. All right, feel good about that. Two minutes, and then we're gonna flip it and keep going. I'm glad it looks good, guys. I haven't made these in a while, and it's funny because I often make like a quick burger for lunch when I'm working, and I've kind of been off them. I missed this grill. It does a job that a frying pan doesn't do. And let's take a second. Let's talk about next week. We got a couple minutes. I'm open to suggestions. I don't think I have anything planned for next week just yet. I'm happy to take requests at this point, or a theme or a direction, something you guys want to see. Vegetables, yes. I can do vegetables. What about ravioli? How about like a green, a spinach or a green ravioli or something like that with the vegetable filling? I could do eggplant parm too. I think we just did chicken parm, but I can do eggplant parm. Also a great dish. Maybe do spaghetti and meatballs on the side. Not kidding. Okay, so we got a couple of ideas. Have I done ravioli yet on stream? I don't think I have. Well, I made tortellini or tortelloni. I mean, ravioli's better than that. Can't be that bad. And I could roll another sheet in the green pasta. Be good. I'll find a vegetable filling. Maybe I'll do that. And we can use up, not use up because I don't want to use it up, but we can use some of Sabrina's passata that she gave me. Okay, we're gonna flip this guy. Perfectly done. And again, just take a quick sec. Tuck our onions in a little bit. Good enough. Get a cheese slice on there. I know, but tortellini are really good. I know I complain about making them, but they are really good. What about, you know what we haven't done? What about pierogies? We haven't done pierogies or any kind of dumplings yet. That could be good. No, Spencer, you don't need fancy cheese slices for this. You don't even want a fancy cheese slice. I've tried just about every cheese slice out there. I always come back to Kraft Singles. And these are actually even, these are the, oh, they're on to the bottom there. These are the thin ones, even, not even the thick ones. If you like, I find the thin ones are perfect, especially if you're doing doubles. Definitely if you're doing a double, just use the thin ones. If you really like Kraft cheese slices, you could use the thicker ones, but I have come back to the thin ones as just about perfect for this burger. Well, I mean, put whatever cheese you like on. But this is, remember, this isn't a pub burger, right? Don't put on like a slice of, you know, extra old cheddar or something good. It's just, it doesn't, it's out of place. Wait. Oh, I didn't set the timer. I don't really need to set the timer. I find I set it on stream because I'm talking and I get distracted and I forget. But if you're cooking at home, and like all cooking in your kitchen, the sounds and the smells of your kitchen will tell you when things are done. You'll learn as you go. It's just part of that, and it's one reason to just cook more, right? It becomes second nature. Yeah, this looks good. Yes, I get impatient too, and I find too, like, when I do set a timer, I always grab it before it runs out, even if I'm microwaving something. If I put something in the microwave for like 2 minutes, by the time I get down to the last 15 seconds, I'm just like, can't wait, I gotta yank it out. I can't let the timer run to zero. So, it's the opposite of OCD. I don't know what that is even called, but that's just kind of the way my brain works. And ironically, I know that I do that, so when I put something in, if I need to put it in for 2 minutes, I'll put it in for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, knowing that I'm going to grab it out early. Does that make me crazy? It might. Okay, 40 seconds. This is not going to actually go the whole 40 seconds. I can already tell that it's going to be ready before. Okay, 20 seconds. I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to turn off my propane while I remember. And let's get this off the grill. Oh, it's hot. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna let that cool for like just a second. Let's go back and show you guys. There we go. So there you go. Pretty basic burger, guys. Like, but it's got like crispy onions and it's juicy, and it's got like the lace crispy edges on the beef, which I really like. Big fan of this grill. I'm gonna practice because if I can do it on this grill, I got to be able to do this in a cast iron pan. I haven't had the same results out of a cast iron pan yet. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm not letting it warm up enough. There's just something about this grill. Flat top. Okay. Excuse me. Taste test time, right? You guys get a good look at that? Let me show you one more time. Look at that. There. It's like gum. Okay. Well, it's hot. And it's just, it looks like it's a ton of onion, right? Like it looks like there's so much onion. Let me show you guys again. Like, it looks like so much onion, but it's just the perfect balance of like caramelized onions on the edges, and the inside ones are still like creamy and soft, juicy, and the cheese is good. The burger tastes good. Really good. Wow, that's pretty good. Literally bit off more than I could chew. All right. So that's kind of what I want to show you guys tonight. I'm going to hang around and have a couple more bites. Answer any questions you guys might have about anything, really. Take more suggestions for next week, but we've covered everything I wanted to cover tonight. I feel good about it. It tastes good. And after the Pope pasta fiasco, I was kind of glad to chalk up a win here. It was really hot. Like really hot. Okay, I'm going to call it. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I love doing this for you guys. I will continue to do it. I will figure out next week. I am leaning towards ravioli because I haven't made it in ages. And we can showcase, like, I'll find a good sauce to go with it. And it'll be good. So, everybody have an amazing evening. Thanks, and I will see you next week.